just need to remember to look excited about it.
About
in general. Just AoS hobby.
We'll just do what everyone else does. We'll just open the fucking book and read it. Here's a top down of the book. I'm going to go through every spearhead. There you go, great content. Just do that.
We could complain and say the Games Workshop is killing itself.
Good. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for joining us on this fucking stunning Tuesday. I'm gonna be straight up with you, chat, right now. I'm in a mini bad mood. A mini bad mood, right?
Opposed to your normal, always bad mood.
I'm not always in a bad mood. I'm actually quite happy lately. I'm really cheerful lately on the whole. However, it is my kind of day outside. It's 28 degrees. There's not a cloud in the sky. It's roaring sunshine. Celsius, 28 degrees Celsius, by the way, for those freedom people in the chat. There's not a cloud in the sky. It's beautiful sunshine, and I'm in here. I like streaming. I love streaming. But look at that. I could just be on my bike, cruising away, wild hogs.
I don't like being outside.
No. You're very much an indoors man.
I think I had too much outside.
When you were a kid?
Up to the age of like 17.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I've done the outside stuff, I'm done now. Right? I lived on Exmoor, I spent all my time out on my bike, or a quad bike, just riding around, shooting things. You know, I used to do a lot of airsoft, a lot of paintballing. And then I got a car and I was like, and I started to live in not at home with my parents. I was like, this is pretty good.
Yeah, I would absolutely adore to be just out cruising around the New Forest. We got a beautiful area near us called the New Forest. Cruising around the New Forest on my bike today. I'd love to be doing that.
Better than
I'd love to. I'd be all over that. But we have a living to make. We have bills to pay. We have a job to do. So we're here for your wonderful lunchtime entertainment, working lurking crew on Tuesday. Thank you so much for joining us. If you appreciate the fact that we choose to do that instead of being out on bikes and in the sunshine, please make sure you smash all those magical YouTube buttons for us. Hit the like button if you enjoy the content. Smash subscribe if you haven't already. And hit that bell notification icon if you want to be notified every single time we're live. You wonderful, beautiful human beings. Now, I have been legitimately racking my brain about this stream for a few days, maybe even longer, actually. And there's reasons for this, right?
Is it? Because Sam Deacon gifted 5 memberships.
Yeah.
Huzzah! And also, Wurzag's Morky Mischief goes wog.
Wah.
Wah.
Thank you for the Swedish
I will
corona.
not condone that level of...
So thank you so much, Sam, for the 5 gifted. The reason why I've been sat kind of a bit stressed about this stream specifically is because you can see on the table what I say we. Some of this has been me in terms of building. The majority, in fact, all of it has been Joe bar a few bits in terms of painting. We've been busy prepping Age of Sigmar stuff for the channel, okay? So Age of Sigmar is a thing we've been talking about a lot lately. This whole show has come to be because of new Age of Sigmar, the Liam Joe AoS Show. It was a new piece of content we added a few months ago. I think it kind of started around the time we also had Josh, Mr. the War Hipster, in here, do some 3rd edition AoS content because we were getting excited about 4th edition Age of Sigmar. Now, if you are new-ish to the channel, or you've only kind of joined us recently, it's fair to say that we've never really ever covered Age of Sigmar properly in the past, but I have, on 2 or 3 occasions at least, tried to jump into the Age of Sigmar scene for a number of reasons. Now, personally, I prefer and have always preferred fantasy setting for narrative over sci-fi. I was getting heavily into fantasy around the time that they nuked 8th edition, went from 7th to 8th edition, then 8th edition when they nuked it into Age of Sigmar. And I was probably going to end up having that as my main game. But I built 2 massive fantasy armies and they went, drop the bomb.
Yeah.
And that kind of killed it for me. And then I leaned heavily into 40k. And I love 40k. I absolutely adore 40k. Yeah. I think it's fucking phenomenal. And actually, we were talking about this before stream. I'm having the most fun playing it right now.
Yeah. I think the love of fantasy really reflects in the 40k armies that people play. So Warhammer, I like the guys in armour which have a big sword and a shield.
Yeah, which is me, right? Dark Angels, Deathwing Knights, maces and shields, berserkers, they're all fucking axes and stuff. Like I feel like I kind of find my fantasy setting in 40k as well, to be fair.
Yeah.
But I've always tried to jump into Age of Sigmar. With AoS version 4, 4th edition, we had a real opportunity when GW told Joe and I there was a bit of a reset going on to actually jump in and start learning the rules from the ground up. GW contacted us a while ago now and said, would you be interested in New Age of Sigmar? Because previously I ticked a box to say, please don't send me AoS preview stuff. I don't feel like I'm going to do anything with it, and I don't want to be that guy who takes things and just posts a picture of it sealed on Instagram or goes, there we go.
It'd be really useful right now. We'd have a lot more.
Yeah, but at the time,
Yeah.
I don't want to be one of those dickheads on Instagram who posts a picture of a box that's still sealed and goes, thank Games Workshop, haven't done anything with it, or does a couple of shit clicks or claps and goes, there you go, there's my content. I don't want to be that person.
But the thing is, imagine all the more models that have for my
It doesn't matter, Joe. I don't want to be that person. So we'd originally said no. And when they came to us and said, would you be interested in 4th edition? Here's a little bit of spiel about it. I was like, actually, yeah, I really would like to jump into it. And the reason why I've been stressing about this is that most of you are probably aware right now, especially if you're Age of Sigmar fans, the embargoes started to lift on Saturday. So layered embargoes, you probably can tell. Saturday was simply the contents of the new Skaventide box, which we have. And we should have brought the lid and put the lid over here. Didn't think about that. We do have the contents of Skaventide. We have been sent Skaventide by Games Workshop. Huge, huge, huge thank you to them for sending us what is, in my personal opinion, the best launch box they've ever made.
Yeah.
And so that was lifted on Saturday. Last night or yesterday, they said that we can now show off all the other Spearheads that exist. And there was tons of content of people just reading through the Spearhead book, which we have down here, the Spearhead book as well. And you could probably imagine, knowing that the pre-order date for New Age of Sigmar is Saturday, that there are going to be more embargoes lifted over time, including playing the big version and the rest of the rules and the points and all that kind of stuff. What I can't tell you is when that happens. That's not down to me to give you that information. That's down to GW or wait for content. So I was thinking about today, and I was thinking about what do we do? And I thought we could play Spearhead for chat for the Liam Joe AoS Show, but our scoreboard's not quite ready, and I haven't quite worked out how I want to do that yet. And I was getting a bit stressed about it. And I was like, why the fuck, in this space of YouTube, do we bother trying to guess what people want from the AoS content on the channel?
Yeah.
We could just ask them.
Yeah. What do you want?
What do you want? So my current idea is that we're going to add some Age of Sigmar full-size streams to the channel. My idea is that we're going to add some Spearhead-based pre-recorded stuff to the channel. My idea is that Joe and I, at some point within the next month, are going to do some filming for Learn to Play 4th edition. A lot of it will be about the language conversion from 40k to AoS, so that you learn that Rend is AP and that a war scroll is a datasheet, etc. We'll put that together as like a course of pre-recorded content that we're not going to charge you for because we're not rip-off merchants. And that's the kind of idea I had. But I'd like to know what you want to see on the channel. And I need to, one of the things I need to stress right now, one of the things I need to emphasise, right, is the Liam and Joe AoS Show. We're talking about 4th edition Age of Sigmar. When I ask you what you want to see on the channel, it's the Liam and Joe AoS Show. We're talking about 4th edition Age of Sigmar. So if you tell me, I want to see Titanicus, I'm probably just going to fucking ban you, quite honestly. It's the Liam and Joe AoS Show. It's the 3rd time I've said it now, chat, right? Good. So yeah. That being said,
not calling out anyone specifically.
No, not calling out anyone specifically. I've seen a few in chat already. That being said, we do have the Skaventide box. It is by far, in my personal opinion, the best box they've ever made.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I can't think of a box set which kind of comes close. I do really like the Leviathan. The Leviathan box set was peak, but this is just better.
It is better.
I've seen a lot of people complain about rumours on what the price might be. And I think whatever Games Workshop charge for it, as long as it's under £200, I think it's justified.
It's 150, isn't it? I think 140, 150. They've already announced it.
Have they?
Yeah, I'm sure.
So if it's 150 quid,
I'm sure it's
still a bargain.
Yeah.
I saw someone complain the other day. I'm not going to call them out because I know them. They were like, "There's no dice in the box."
I mean,
and my response to him was, "Who do you see using starter box dice anymore?" What happens is everyone gets it. That little bag of dice just gets yeeted into the bin, and people buy their own custom dice.
I also don't know many people that are going to literally be buying this box set having never played any tabletop game before ever.
Yeah.
If I'm honest.
So you got to think, right? If in this box set you've got the core rules, got all the Spearhead rules, you have got terrain, you've got the General's Handbook,
£160,
and you've got these 2 massive armies.
You've got the fancy pack as well. Hang on.
Have they, like, they haven't said anything about how many points are in the box, have they?
No, and we're not allowed to say yet.
No. So, but you get more than the Spearhead's worth, right, of models. In this
You
box
get
set.
more than a Spearhead's worth of models.
You get
correct.
more than a Spearhead's worth of models, right? And you've got to think, right, if this box set didn't have the General's Handbook, the terrain, or the Spearhead rules, Games Workshop would probably charge about 120 quid for it, I reckon. Because that's what all the other
For just the plastic?
For just the plastic, right, for just the models.
I'd go maybe higher, Joe.
Right, so how much was Leviathan?
140, 150.
140.
I think so. They're saying 160 quid in chat, which I now always hear that I think is right. So I think Leviathan was 150.
Right. So if they charged 150 quid for 2 massive armies and the rules, which is what people would have expected, right? Games Workshop would still charge 30 quid for the General's Handbook. They'd still charge 50 quid for the terrain because Games Workshop doesn't know how to price terrain, and then you'd have to buy the Spearhead rules separately, which even as a book would still put you back 20, 30 quid.
So what you used to get in starter box sets, as I'm sure you've seen, is you used to get a core rule book, right? This is pretty common across Age of Sigmar and 40k. You get a core rule book with all your core rules in. This is a beautiful tome with some gorgeous artwork in it, a bunch of narrative and lore, and all your core rules. And they're laid out really nicely. They're like. This isn't. I'm not being negative here, but they've taken the 10th edition rulebook layout concept and they've tightened it up slightly. I think they've made it slightly nicer, in my personal opinion.
I think it is safe to say that Games Workshop learns from its mistakes.
Yeah, I think so. And we often talk about AoS versus 40k in terms of the rules writing teams and the teams that exist at Warhammer World. They do learn from each other. They absolutely do. All joking aside, they do. We've got a beautiful army roster section in the back here. There is, if I remember right, there's a terrain. Yes, there's a full terrain list. What every single piece of terrain type it is, how many pieces there are, what size it's considered, because there's rules associated to them. You've got a full glossary of terms, so you can go. It's very, very, very good. This is a very, very good core rule book. This, if you put those models in the box with this and charge the same as the Leviathan, I think people will be happy. I think they would be happy. But you don't just get this book and those models. What you add to those models to start with is the right amount of terrain to use for Spearhead, which we haven't got ready yet.
People go, it's not that much terrain, but you're like, well, it's enough terrain for the map that you get.
It's exactly what you need for Spearhead. I spoke to GW yesterday. So far, most channels that have played Spearhead haven't actually used a Spearhead terrain, which is a shame. We will do some with it. Just be like, this is all you need. Literally all you need is this box, right? So you get that book. On top of that book, you get this beautiful tome. This is the one that you've seen everyone reading over the last 24 hours because content creators are really original. And this has got all of the spearheads for every single faction, including 2 for Stormcast and 2 for Skaven. So it includes the old Stormcast Vanguard boxes and the new half that's in the Skaventide box.
What I like about this, right, because it's all in one book, you can literally, you don't have to worry about having to buy extra cards.
Well, here's the fancy...
Because you go, before 5, if you turn around and you're like, oh, I've got that Ghost Spearhead and I've got that Orc Spearhead, but I don't know where to get the rules. No, you do. It's all in one place.
Even better, right? So you've got the Fire and Jade way of playing.
Yeah.
Do you know what I like even more about this? You then go through all the spearheads, right? Bearing in mind this is in the same box as the core rules, when you go to the back, you've got the core rules. Oh. And, again, you have, when you get right to the back, Spearhead reference sheet.
Oh.
Glossary
reference sheets right on the back of the book.
Glossary of terms, right? So you don't even need the core rule book. You can literally go and play Spearhead anywhere with any Spearhead and take just this book.
Do you know what I've been screaming out for 2 editions of 40k?
Tyrannid-style butt plugs.
Yeah. Right, because you got the spines that grow out of the planet. Perfect. I know what people are doing wrong. Yeah. Right.
I've seen some of them. They exist.
The fact that like in 40k we never get a glossary or a quick reference in the back of the book
anymore.
Used
to.
Yeah.
This itself is incredible as a book. This is an absolute work of art and genius. Yeah. You can take this one book. What's one of the biggest complaints that we have in 40k? You can take this one book anywhere with you to play Spearhead with any Spearhead you own, and this is all you need. It's got the core rules.
It's bonkers, isn't it?
It's got the core rules. It's got the reference sheet and every single Spearhead that currently exists in Age of Sigmar in this one book. It's all you need. You can get cards and you can take other things and you can take your core rule book. Yeah. You just need this.
I went to a tournament on Sunday. I took a rule book, took my army book, I took data cards, right? None of it was correct. So it was pointless. Whereas now, you can reduce that all into one book.
And then you have this wonderful pack of genius that also comes in the box as well.
Do you know how happy it makes me, the new box sets? Because they did this with the Tau, didn't they?
Yeah.
And what else they do it with? They did another one where it comes with a little folder to hold all your stuff in for your army.
This is said little folder, right? Opens up, and inside here, we have a bunch of stuff, Joe.
Yeah.
We have specifically the cards that you need to play Spearheads, right? We have the cards that you need to play...
Is there a divider in the middle of these?
I don't know. You have the cards that you need to play...
There is.
Is there?
Yeah.
Does that make you happy?
I'm so basic, I'm sorry, people, but...
You have the cards that you need for the... This is the General's Handbook,
right? Yeah.
General's Handbook coming in the box.
There isn't, sorry. Well, it comes with this thing.
Yeah, okay. So you have Spearhead cards, General's Handbook cards, so competitive ways of playing, like super starter ways of playing, and obviously the casual is just playing without any fancy extra rules. And then you also have, you have a battle mat, which folds out. I won't fold it all the way out today.
Fold you out.
But it folds out into the size that you need to play Spearhead, including objective markers built onto the board.
And both sides are different.
Both sides are different.
Yeah. What I'd like to see is, going forward is a Blood Bowl style, here's new mats with different objective layouts.
I think that'd be
different
cool.
realms. I think that'd be quite cool. Also, there's a lot of cards involved, right? Right. And this is Joe's prediction. Okay, a lot of people missed this a couple of months ago. It's because it was just one post about it and then disappeared into the ether. Oh no.
You fucked it now, haven't you?
I have. Is that Games Workshop started a partnership with a well-known card sleeve company, didn't they?
Did they?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they did. We talked about that.
Was it Pro? Max Pro?
The ones that did the old
Maxi Pad? What's it called?
Some people in the fucking 40k
the card sleeve company. And case making people that Magic the Gathering also do, and Pokemon. So
Ultra Pro,
yeah. Also sounds like a condom company. Let's be honest.
A little bit, yeah.
Right. I think I reckon we will start to see deck boxes and stuff and sleeves come out for these. But what I want is faction specific ones.
That'd be cool.
That'd be cool. I think that'd be cool.
So yeah. So the box is unbelievable
in
terms of value.
Really
if you're thinking about getting started at Age of Sigmar, £160 isn't a small amount of money, but in terms of the value that you get in that box, it is fucking insane what you get in that box.
I think as an investment to get into a game though, like having literally everything in the box, minus the dice, but you can get dice from Tiger and stuff like that.
Well, we'll be restocking our dice soon, so you know.
Yeah, so I think what you get in that box set is worth it. And I saw this example. There's a lot of like little shops, like where I live at the moment in Shaftesbury. There's like a game shop, and they've got like a little back room which they've converted into a games room. So people now have like Warhammer, Magic the Gathering, like club evenings. So something like this is perfect for these little clubs, like or going over to your mate's house, or if you want to get a friend into the hobby, you go, cool, I've bought a box set, I've got 2 armies, I've got all the cards, I've got all the rules. You literally just have to turn up.
Yeah.
I think it's great.
I actually think, so I think that my personal opinion around the launch of 10th edition is that Combat Patrol was a bit of a car crash and a bit of a swing and a miss. I think for Spearhead, it's a bit different for 2 main reasons. I think the first main reason is one of the biggest things for Spearhead is, if I'm honest, is an attempt at enticing 40k players across to Age of Sigmar or bring new people in. Yeah. I would argue actually the first part of that's probably more prevalent. Like there's for every AoS product sold, there's 3 to 5 GW products sold, something like that. The 40k audience is significantly bigger than the Age of Sigmar audience right now.
The command phase is 160 quid as a bargain when you think a Combat Patrol is 100 quid.
Exactly. So 100. So I think Spearhead to start with will be a way of enticing 40k players. And hey, buy just a Spearhead, which is no different to a Combat Patrol box. Get your cards, your rules online for free, and play some Spearhead and see what you think.
Yeah.
Part number 2 as to why I think Spearhead is a significant success compared to Combat Patrol, remembering that Joe and I have played Spearhead, is that it plays different to Combat Patrol. It's actually fun and interesting, and it actually feels like its own game mode.
It's really smooth.
which one teaches you and leads into big AOS, but also you could continue playing even if you enjoy big AOS.
Yeah, my favourite aspect of Spearhead is the points deck mechanic, which is also a way of getting extra benefits out of your army at the same time. So when you pull your cards, you can either score points or you can bring a unit back or get an extra command trait for. So I think that's a really good way, and the way it integrates is so smooth and so slick.
Yeah, it's a really nice stepping stone.
Yeah.
They've done a great job with this. Genuinely, I think it's amazing. I see in chat, and I've seen this in chat for like months, tons of 40k lovers and heresy lovers and complete AOS naysayers. I will continue to say to these people what I've always said: until you've actually tried it, even if it's for free at local GW without spending any money, you can't comment on it being bad or shit. You just have to have a go at it because they have just done a better job than the 40k team. Yeah. Now, if we loop back round to saying that they learn from each other, I feel like if the 40k team look at some of what we're praising them for with this and they learn, then the next 40k big release, when it's 11th edition, when that comes in a couple of years, is going to be fucking incredible. And hopefully it means they start getting their shit in order.
It's only a year and a half now, isn't it?
It's 2 years.
Was it 2 years?
Oh yeah, because it's released the same sort of time.
Was it? Yeah, 2 years.
Yeah. So I feel like if I was time poor, I mean, we are kind of time poor, but because we do the hobby for a living, it doesn't kind of count. If I was time poor, I feel like I could just play Spearheads and enjoy it and not have to play anything else. Which is testament to Spearhead.
As a people living in a modern world and a modern life that aren't time rich, are they? Like if you've got kids and a job and stuff, building a small box of models to play a game around your mate's house once a month, it's a great game. It's a good way of getting your kids into it as well. I see, like, because of our Thanes and because of our Discord, I sort of see a lot of people putting pictures up with them on the dining room table with terrain and their kids playing it. You know, and I think it's a great way of getting it into. Yeah, I think it's.
Well, I also here's the thing as well. This was quite interesting. Mr. The John McCardle very generously donated enough money last night on the stream for the Cruel Boys Spearhead box for the channel, which we don't currently have. And I was on the Element website today, and I didn't feel this need. I'm like 40k. I don't think in 40k I've ever bought a Combat Patrol and be like, that's all I'm going to buy. And I've never been there. And I'm like, okay, if I buy the Combat Patrol for this army, because we're going to start a new army, we're going to start, what's an army we don't have? Genius Cults, right? Yeah. I don't think to myself, I'll buy one Combat Patrol and leave it there. I think I'll buy a Combat Patrol, or in the case of Genius Cult, you might buy 2 Combat Patrols, then you might buy other bits, you might buy extra stuff, blah, 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 right? And you go, right, here, cool, and then a 2,000 point army turns up and you get to work on it, and then I get bored of it and give it to Joe. With Age of Sigmar, I had the Spearhead box in the basket, and the Cruel Boys range, as with most of the armies in Age of Sigmar, quite frankly, has a beautiful model range, which makes, honestly, fucking 40k sometimes look like it was hand sculpted by Stevie Wonder. And I'm like, I don't have an urge necessarily at this moment in time. I actually said out loud to Joe, I could just buy the Spearhead, see if I enjoy the way they play, and go from there. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. You don't feel like for instance, like if you want to play 40k at the moment, like you said, you have to buy lots of boxes. You have to drop 500-600 quid to get a 2,000 point army. Yeah. You build it. You don't even get around to play. You play it a couple of times, and you go, oh, I don't actually like this play style. I'm not really a big fan of how it works. Or if you, for instance, never played Genius to the Cult, got the new book, spent all the money, got on the table, and you go, oh, I wish I'd spent all that money on Sisters instead. Yeah. And now I can't sell this for as much money as I bought it for, right? Whereas with Spearhead, you go, cool, I've invested 80 quid or 100 quid, depending on where you buy it from, and you go, I don't really like this army, but I've only spent 80 quid. I could just spend 80 quid again, get another one which I might enjoy. Someone else would probably buy this for the same amount of money. Or I could just keep it in the background, and now I've got 2 armies.
Also, if you enjoy the hobby, that money itself, because of the sculpts and the models, is almost worth it anyway.
There are very few bad models in AOS.
There are some.
There are some bad models.
But you're right, they are few and far between.
There are much less bad models than there are good models.
It would be wrong for us to suggest that every single Age of Sigmar model is beautiful. Not all models are created equally.
I think if you're an event organizer as well, if you want to get into running events, like for Age of Sigmar, I think starting with Spearhead events is a great way to kick it off.
Yeah.
To get people in the door.
I think Spearhead events will continue to be good events anyway.
Oh, yeah.
Because if you think about it, you can get Spearhead in within 60 to 90 minutes, you can get a game of Spearhead, right?
Yeah.
If you're competent, I reckon you can do it less than an hour, okay?
Yeah.
Which means you could do 2-3 games in the morning, 3-4 games in the afternoon on a single day, Joe.
Yeah. If like you have like Friday Night Magic, you could have Thursday night Spearhead, but not on a Thursday because that's when we stream. Do it on a Wednesday, right? Wednesday night Spearhead, 3 games in an evening in your local club as like a little tournament, you know, or just to get together and hang out. I think it's great.
Mm-hmm. Right, should we jump in? So chat's been going off.
Chat's been.
There's amazing ways
busy.
to support the streams. There's lots of ways to support the streams. In fact, the free ways to support it are those like and subscribe buttons. And thank you to people that have been hitting like button. We're up to 70 already, despite the fact there's 200 people watching. Like is free. Click. All right, done. The other ways of supporting us is by becoming a member, gifting memberships, or super chatting, as I'm sure you guys all know. Gifted memberships are our most important monetization feature on the channel. Yeah. It's actually responsible for over 80% of our total revenue. It's amazing. Thank you so much. And super chats are ways where you can spend money to put a big colourful postcard and feel important. And Joe will butcher reading it out. I'll then work out what he was supposed to be saying, and then we'll answer your question, comment, query, whatever.
Before I do this, I want to respond. Sir Galahad says, I do hope Spearhead is better balanced than Combat Patrol. Because Combat Patrol. Honestly, having spoke to the people that did it and spoke to the person that designed this game, I would say, from the years that we've interacted with people at Games Workshop, Spearhead is the most popular game that Games Workshop has ever made for the staff.
Internally, yeah.
Internally. So much so that they had one league running, which was just the designers, and they literally did it every lunchtime, every evening, whenever anyone had any spare time. They were all just playing and play testing because they were enjoying it so much. And then once that ended, and obviously they opened up the rest of the company, like they were just members, people that didn't even play Warhammer games in Games Workshop started to play it.
Yeah.
And converted
he
it.
also said, interesting, Boarding Actions is the intro game. Boarding Actions should have been the intro game for 40k, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And I think that I got excited when Boarding Actions came out that certain rules in 10th edition 40k were going to change. This is a slight aside. I know it's not AoS relevant. And they didn't change. And I was like, Boarding Actions now sits completely aside with a whole different set of rules. It's too complicated. Boarding Actions 100% should have been the intro game to
They should have replaced it, yeah. I think Boarding Actions is dead and gone now, isn't it? Or is it still,
you can still play it. It's still 10th 10th edition relevant, but it's not. It didn't see the development that I was hoping we were going to see from Boarding Actions, nor did it see the balancing that I was hoping we were going to see from Boarding Actions.
No, I feel like it was kind of like a softballing of getting people into 10th edition rules kind of thing.
Kinda.
But I just wish it was a bit
Cool.
better. I'm going to touch feet with you.
Touch toes.
So thank you, Meat Squadron. It says 5:30 a.m. here. It was only 118 yesterday. Yay!
A Celsius, isn't it?
Celsius. One of my favourite things about coming from American social media stuff is the people in America laughing at people in England because we can't deal with how hot it is.
Yeah.
Because they're like, it's only like 110 degrees here, or whatever, or Celsius, and they're like, oh, people in England don't have aircon. It's because we only have 4 weeks of hot weather,
If that,
and then it goes away.
In more recent years, we have about 4 days of it, Joe.
Yeah, it would be like we're basically Eskimos here.
The other thing as well is
we're used to the cold and damp.
As a man who has been in places like Afghanistan and in Death Valley, once you've acclimatised, it doesn't feel that bad. So if you live in it, guess what? It doesn't feel that bad. Yeah. So come to the UK for 6 months over autumn, winter, then go back to your America and then tell me whether it's too hot or not.
What I like seeing, though, is people in England who've come from hot places, right? So there's a woman who's come from the Caribbean, right? And she's in England and she's got the aircon on. And she goes, I've got my aircon on the temperature where we would have thought it was cold, right? And outside, that's the temperature at night time. And it's muggy and it's horrible and damp and gross. It's like heat in England is so much worse than heat in other countries because just dank.
We went out to America for training, and we were in Arizona and Southern California for 3 to 4 months. We flew back and we landed at a civvy airport. I can't remember which airport. It might have been Gatwick or Birmingham we landed at, I can't remember. And we got off the plane at one of those locations, right? And we were in genuine hoodies and fucking jeans and we were feeling cold. And the local populace, and I'm from this country, and the local populace of wherever it was, I think it was Birmingham, were in shorts and t-shirts looking at us like we were lunatics. But we'd just come from the fucking Arizona desert and then landed here after being 3 to 4 months in the desert. So we'd acclimatised to that heat, got used to that heat, flown back, landed and went, fuck, it's cold here. Now I reacclimatised to the UK really, really quickly because it's my home country. When we got off the plane, I was like, it's fucking freezing. And they're all in fucking Hawaiian shirts and shorts walking around the airport. Acclimatisation is a thing.
It's mad.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mike the Rhino, for 1 gifted membership.
Thank you, Mike. You're a hero.
Thank you, the Cooney, for 5 gifted memberships. Thank
dude.
you.
You have to do that, Cooney. Thank you so much, dude. You're a legend.
He plays the games. How is Cooney enjoying Call of Duty?
We raided him on Friday. Yeah.
It's like the accusations are strong in Call of Duty at the moment.
They are,
No one
yeah.
is enjoying that. We play Plunder now.
We just played Plunder.
Yeah, which is like the soft play area of Call of Duty.
Yeah. It was the only way I was going to get back in was by going in the Charles Bull pit.
Yeah. Yeah, otherwise it's just horrible. Thank you, Kazera says, I'm with Joe. Outside sucks sweaty balls.
Outside's beautiful. I want to be outside.
I don't. I prefer cold weather because you can get warmer. When it's like outside and you're literally naked, right, and everything's hot and sticky, you can't get cooler. You can't get any more naked.
Joe thinks I'm weird because when we have this weather, I'll go and sit outside just sitting in the sun. And he's like, you're weird, like a lizard.
It's more comfortable in here.
No, I go sit outside. I'll go sit in the sun. Like, melt me, sunshine.
No, when I'm outside sweating, right, and all red and ruddy and gross, and I look like a farmer's elbows. It's just, no.
I love it. I'm mad for the hot weather.
It's grim. I hate it.
I'd like to, this weather that we have outside right now today, 26, 27 degrees, right, clear blue skies and sunshine, I could happily move somewhere that has this for 364 days a year.
If I had a
Apart from
beach,
Christmas Day,
if
where
I
it's
was
snow.
under a large parasol on a decking, drinking fruity cocktails next to like a harbour, I think that'd be much nicer. No children, no sand. I fucking hate sand. I fully agree with Anakin. I hate sand. Anakin Skywalker.
Oh, right, okay.
It's a famous. I don't like sand. Right, I hate sand. I hate it. It's all like it gets everywhere. Gets in between your toes. You go to the beach. You take your shoes off. Take your socks off. You go for a long walk. Oh, it's lovely. And then afterwards, you're like, you can never. Even though you've washed your feet and it doesn't look like any sand there, you put your socks and shoes on, and it just feels gritty. I hate it.
I don't like sand and I don't like beaches.
Yeah.
But I fucking love this weather.
I love a harbour. All down for the harbour. Sitting on the dock of the bay. You know, that's me.
Why am I a freak, Galahad? No. Why am I a freak? I could literally just go sit outside this and be perfectly happy. At least in the mornings, when the weather's like this in the mornings, I get up, I'll make my breakfast, and more often than not, I'll sit in the garden in the direct sunlight. Just sit there like a basking lizard to energise myself for the day.
I'm like, I wake up in the morning and then the curtains stay closed because if they're open, the warm gets in.
I love the sunny weather. Energises me, Jay.
Thank you, Sam Deacon. It says, so excited for AoS now. OBR, so Oziak Bone Reapers, Spearhead arrived this morning. Got to get it built and painted for release. Keep up the content. Games Workshop, best channel. Thank you.
Oh,
you
thanks,
are
mate.
correct.
We'll try our best.
What I like about Spearhead, right, is that this could potentially mean that we go back to a day where people play games in Games Workshop again.
Because it's smaller.
Because it's smaller now.
Yeah. If we were when Hobby House opens here, if we run Spearhead events, we can get double the players in, which is better for everybody because there's more people, there's more socialising, there's more customers for Hobby House, and you can get double the games on a single day. You can run a Spearhead event on a single day, and I think it's a good gaming system that would stand up to a kind of tournament setting.
I know a lot of people that really fucking love painting and modelling and converting and the hobby aspect of it, and we were talking in a group chat the other day about like how Games Workshop doesn't really appeal to the turbo modelist, painter, hobbyist kind of person anymore, because it's all about turnaround and getting those armies out, getting people buying lots of models. I think Spearhead caters really well to them because you can have one person could literally spend 3 months building and converting one Spearhead box, and then they can go and play with it. They don't have to worry about the rules have changed. I have to buy more models now. You go, cool. There's a new Spearhead. I'll just buy that one and work on that one for ages.
We were told as well. I don't think I'm allowed to say this, but we were told as well that Spearhead would likely be continuing. Would likely receive, almost definitely would receive continuing support and development. Potentially would see new card packs and rules, and when the idea being that when a new battle tome comes out with a brand new Spearhead, it doesn't invalidate the old Spearhead rules. Well, they're both relevant.
Well, you got to assume. So you got to assume, right? Big assumption, right? I was a gambling man. Currently, bar 3 armies, well 5 now. They've got Spearhead boxes. Everyone else has got a Vanguard box. So when their book comes out, they're going to get a new Spearhead box set. I can't imagine they'll just repackage it. I imagine that you'll get new models, right? And you own that book already, so you can use those rules. And then you can just use, I imagine the new box set will come with rules either in it or a download or whatever.
If they put new Spearhead cards in new Spearhead boxes.
Well, you've got to imagine, there was a time when you used to buy start collecting boxes and they came with a detachment in the box.
Oh, you mean
set.
back when they were 50 quid?
Yeah. But you got less? More?
You got less, not by a lot.
Not by a lot.
But they were 50 quid.
Yeah.
They were an actual start collecting price point.
Yeah. They were the cost of what a Maleceptor is now.
Yeah.
One model.
Yeah. But, you know, thank God they're just recording even more record profits.
Which means that we get newer development and models.
No, what we get is more well-paid shareholders. Is what we get.
Yeah. Unlike Disney. Right. Thank you, Kazarian. It says, request, inject AoS into my veins, but for real. Ideal world, 1+ game a week of Spearhead or matched. Spearhead could possibly ramp up to 2+ over time.
So so we're now getting into the actual weeds of the title and what people want to see.
Yeah.
I know Nick's a big AoS fan, and so we'll be slightly biased. And we have decisions to make in terms of what we do for content and how we service you guys for Age of Sigmar. I think it's very safe to say that Joe and I are incredibly excited about 4th edition Age of Sigmar. Now, we aren't naive enough to necessarily think that you as an audience were all 100% going to be on board with this newfound obsession with Age of Sigmar. And so we have to be careful that what we don't do is go, we love it, so everyone loves it, so let's just do Age of Sigmar the whole time, right? So there's a few things that we want to do. The first thing I want to do is introduce it via Spearhead for a couple of reasons. One, it's a lower barrier to entry for us as a channel. You can see in front of you, we've got a number of Spearheads already. We've got the Skaven Spearhead, the Stormcast Spearhead, the City Spearhead. We've got the Sylvaneth Spearhead. We've got the little Fire Slayer Spearhead. Yeah. We've got the, help me out here.
Soulblight Gravelords.
Soulblight Gravelords, thank you. Have you done the Flesh Eater Courts yet?
No, I've got to build and pay that one. I've got the I've got the Slaves Darkness one built. I need to paint it. What else? We've got a lot of models for the Nurgle. We just need to get the Fat Men to go with it.
So we've got a bunch of Spearheads already. So for us as a channel, it's easier to start playing Spearhead for you people than it is for us to play big AoS, because we need to take all the ones we've just talked about and then expand them out even further.
Does the Liam Joe Show become a 2-man Spearhead stream?
If I can make it work, potentially yes.
Yeah.
If people would want to see that.
Not every time, but occasionally.
Yeah.
Be like, no news today, we play Spearhead.
Yeah. I think if I can build something that lets that work, it's highly likely that that's what we're going to do.
Yeah.
Is we're going to go Liam and Joe AoS Spearhead Show on, it's becoming a mouthful of a title, isn't it? On Tuesdays. So we're going to start with Spearhead, right? And my main idea at the moment, outside of Liam and Joe Show, is that we potentially build it as a pre-recorded piece of content that you guys can consume on a lunch break when we're not doing Liam and Joe shows, 45 minutes to 50 minutes worth of content. I then want to continue growing the factions that we have and the factions that Joe's painting, and get to a point where we can do
full-size games.
A full-size 2,000 point AoS game. And it's about how we fit that in. So first of all, we won't be able to constantly film full-size games of AoS as well as Spearhead games and do all the 40k content because we don't have the time to do that yet at the moment, nor do we have the staff. We could turn Tuesday into full AoS day. Tuesday evenings could become an AoS full-size game, and then Thursdays is full 40k. And we could do Tuesdays AoS, Thursdays 40k. But what I would want to do is work out how I add more 40k content to the channel as well, rather than losing 40k content, if that makes sense. But again, I'd be guided by you. Maybe we put a poll in Discord for that and see what people think.
And we'll do one of those things that people can select to see what they do. Don't worry, penis joke. Carry on.
Cool.
I was somewhere else during you were talking.
But like I said, the whole point is that our job ultimately, realistically, is to entertain you people. If we entertain you people, we get rewarded with things like super chats, gifted memberships. We're on 12 right now. Gifted memberships, new members, etc. If we do a bad job and we don't entertain you people and we're a bit boring or a bit dull, then we end up with no gifted memberships like the 12 we've got right now. I blame you not wearing the little gear. And no super chats, right? That's like literally how it works. I don't believe in paywalling content in general. If we start playing completely different games like Fallout, the only reason why I'll paywall that content isn't because I want people to pay for it, it's because I don't want to smash my algorithm to pieces.
Yeah.
It's legitimately the only reason, and I'll be very open about that. We've paywalled Fallout or Star Wars Shatterpoint just because I don't want to murder my algorithm.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that. Otherwise, I don't believe in paywalling content. I don't believe in hiding behind a paywall, learn to plays. I don't believe in paywalling 70 to 80%. I don't like that. I don't like that optics. I've never liked that optics. And so I'd much rather we put it out there and you guys go, we actually think it's worth it.
Yeah.
Have 5 gifted memberships.
Yeah.
Or, I don't think it's worth it. We're not rewarding you today.
Have 5 gifted memberships.
I mean, that would be the ideal world, Joe. But I don't think it's worth it, so don't have any memberships. For argument's sake, not for argument's sake. For example, last night, I didn't want to do any hobbying. I nearly cancelled the stream. What we did instead was we did a community showcase. That was one of our best Monday monetized streams we've ever had.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, they've rewarded us for doing this show. So I'm going to bring that show in once a month. Because they clearly liked the show. Does that make sense? Like it's a direct feedback loop, essentially, right? Cool. Anyway, carry on with our wonderful humans.
Thank you, the Lord of Cinder. All AoS, all the time. Best system, fight me. That was his fifth. I mean, we were talking before we went on. We joke about the idea of just becoming a pure AoS channel.
I've joked about it. I would never actually do it.
Yeah. I really want to get my Caesar Sigmar up to more. I've got all the models. I just need to get them painted fully painted over 2,000 points. My Soulblood Gravelards are over 2,000 points, but I want to add. I just want to get all the units for it. You know, I want to get the Chaos over 2,000 points. I want to get the Flesh Eater Courts over 2,000 points. I love the AoS range more than the 40k.
I think
range.
it's also safe to say, I don't want to speak for you, but I think it's also safe to say that I think the new 40k rules update is really good.
Really good.
Despite the fact that I think it's embarrassing it needs so many updates, I think the new update is really good. But I think up until that point, we were also starting to get quite burnt out with 40k already.
Yeah, I think don't get me wrong, I still want to add to 40k.
Oh, Joe, you want to add to everything all the time?
I want to add to everything all the time. I've got a White Scars army at home for 40k, which I need to get painted. It's built, I just need to paint the bloody thing. I've got a Chaos Knights army to paint, you know, and I want to get it painted. Like this weekend really revitalised my want to do more for 40k. I've got so much guard to build and paint. I just love it. I just love doing all the hobby all the time. Unfortunately, it's just me. But me, only me.
What?
Painting armies.
I mean, yeah.
Armies.
Oh, yeah,
so I can only do so. We're limited by how much we can do all the time because I can only do so much at a certain speed. I can do a lot of really shit painted armies very quickly.
Yeah.
But I personally don't want to put shit on the channel.
I love this guy.
You know? There's a level that I'm not willing to go below in terms of quality.
Love this guy. Proud of you.
Yeah. So now I'm trying hard. Obviously, the the starter box set stuff.
But that's why I've got people like my mate Lee who paint like this. The Sons of Bomat were done by a friend of ours called Lee, a friend of the channels, and he's done a fucking cracking job. We've got Caradron Overlords over on the table done by Lee, cracking job. So I'm trying to help. I'm shit at painting. No, that's a lie. I'm good at painting when I do it. I'm shit at actually getting anything done, and I'm very aware of it and I'm open about it. So I'm trying to find other ways to help you. We've got 2 other fucking spearheads done here by someone completely different.
Yeah. And now those people now to flesh those armies out.
He will.
That's the only downside about getting.
No, he's already said
I know,
yes.
I'm saying, but I'm just saying in general, when someone goes, here's a spearhead I built and painted, I'm like, oh, now I need you to do the rest of the army. And they're like, oh, don't have time to do that. I'm like,
yeah, no,
not helpful to me. I need all the army in one style or not at all.
So Lee's going to expand those 2 for us, and then he's quite happy to crack on with the 3rd.
Nice.
So I'm branching out a little bit for people to support the amount of painting that you do because I'm shit at it, and I'm open and honest about being shit at it. I'm trying to find the thing. Years and years and years ago, I used to really, really enjoy my painting. I had a fully painted Knight army that was mine. I had a fully painted Elder army that was mine. I had a half-painted Blood Angels army I was doing, and then for some reason I just sort of fell out of love with painting. And nothing's ever really grabbed me and pulled me back into it, and I can't. I don't know why.
Says I should lean into oil washes. I do like the oil wash look for some armies. Heresy and Space Marines are really good for oil washing armies, that dirty, gritty griminess. But the thing is though, when it's every army you have, it starts to look like the colour palette they use for Gears of War. You know, it's just all brown and black all the time.
The plebiscite says, I wonder if AoS 4 would be as popular if 40k was in a really good place. That's actually a very interesting comment. And I think if I'm going to be quite honest and frank and very blunt about this right now, I love this product. I think this is amazing. I think if 40k was in an incredible place and 10th edition had been a roaring success, I would argue, no, it wouldn't be as popular. Absolutely wouldn't be as popular. Which I would also argue would be a shame, because this is incredible, but people wouldn't need to look elsewhere if their main game system was absolutely fucking unbelievable.
I've got a lot of friends who have left 40k to go to AoS, and they say AoS is just vastly superior. And they're like, but they wouldn't be there.
Yes. If, the point of the fact is they left 40k to go to AoS.
We all became friends because we all play 40k.
Yeah. Oh my lord.
The Lord of Cinder has gifted 50 memberships.
50?
50.
On a Liam and Joe show?
Yeah. Thank you, Lord of Cinder.
We need to wish him something.
I
Joe.
hope.
I mean, he clearly likes AoS content.
Yeah, I hope that next time you go to your local hobby store, you are the 500,000th person in the store, and they give you a free gift. You know, do you remember shops you do? You're our millionth customer. Have this.
Yeah.
You know. I hope next time you go to Games Workshop, Dale Winton is there and he offers you a supermarket sweep.
Oh!
Yeah.
Lord of Cinder, thank you so much, you unbelievable human being.
You are.
50 gifted is a fucking insane number of gifted memberships for the average human. You are clearly not the average human. Yeah. We very much appreciate you. You unbelievable man. Thank you so much. I say man, I'm assuming. Thank you so much. I love you dearly. You're incredible.
You are a hero.
What a Chad, exactly.
What a Chad.
Yeah. What a Chad.
He supports our push for AoS.
Yeah.
I personally, I'm not saying this is what we should do, but I personally like the idea of having Tuesday as AoS day, Thursday is 40K.
I like the idea, and I feel like it would help us not get burnt out on 40k, but I'd be very worried that the numbers would drop because it's AoS. But then again, we try and sell the Top Gear model, right? Where we could play literal dominoes and people wouldn't give a shit as long as we're taking the piss out of each other and having fun.
What we need is a miniature caravan that we can blow up every week. Do you remember when Top Gear used to do that?
It's all of my late tax. You've been late 10 times or more. Oh my God.
Wow.
Thank you so much, man. You unbelievable human being. I love you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's a good start to the day, isn't it, Joe?
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, tonight on stream, I'm producing with an assistant. Luce is going to be here tonight. The kids are going to be here as well, by the way.
Yeah. Are they going to be?
They're going to be in the office with their iPads.
Or is there not all three of them are going to do the deck?
No, just I'm going to do the deck. Luce is learning the deck
Yeah.
because the new deck is quite complicated in this studio compared to the old one. It's a lot harder than it was before. So she's slowly learning. Luce is not the quickest learner with tech stuff. So she's slowly learning the deck. So she's going to be here tonight, chat. Sam Deacon says, not a 499.99 super chat though. I fucking hell. I yesterday clicked on Gorilla. You know Ash from Gorilla Miniature Games?
I fucking love Gorilla Miniatures.
Ash is an incredible human being. If you've never checked out Gorilla Miniature Games, you should. He doesn't need a shout out from us. He's got 100,000 subs. He's amazing. He literally plays every game ever all the time.
Yeah.
And Ash used to be a mini wargaming. He's probably one of my favourite people in mini wargaming before he left. And I clicked on his stream, one super chat, clicked on it, and it was like 499.99. I was like, fucking hell!
I would argue, outside of Alice Cooper, Ash is the only man that can pull off black nail polish, chunky rings, and eyeliner.
Maybe.
He does it really well.
He's a fucking baller.
Have
you ever chatted to him?
No.
Super nice guy.
I think like when he left mini wargaming, I just exclusively watched his channel all the time.
He is a super nice guy as well.
Yeah.
Really genuine good dude.
Yeah. He used to do a lot of sit and talk hobbying over COVID. That got me through COVID, I think.
Yeah.
Was his sit and talk stuff.
I love Ash. Ash is a legend. If you haven't checked him out, go check him out. Tell him that you came from us. Gorilla Miniature Games. Gorilla spelled G-U-I, that version. I can't do the rest. G-U-I-R. Gorilla. I can't remember. G-U-E-R. Gorilla as in guerrilla warfare rather than the animal. Right, there we go.
Isn't that the same?
No, they're spelled differently, aren't they?
Oh.
Yeah.
But what about if the animals are doing guerrilla warfare?
It's guerrilla warfare.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Isn't it U? One's O, one's U.
No.
Go.
No, Jim.
Go. Now I sound Russian. Right. Thank you, Uluru.
Who?
Uluru.
Uldenruer.
That one.
Yeah.
I'm all about Spearhead initially.
Good.
Right, way to go.
Well, that's a good job because that's what we've got.
Yeah.
Thank you, Escapade. You spelt it. Gorilla. There we go. That's how it's spelt when it's warfare.
Yeah. Well, that's good that you're stuck with it, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Alec Man. Sorry I'm late. What did I miss? I don't know. It depends on when you joined. Yeah.
Not a lot, really. Just us being happy and cheerful, but sad that I'm inside on a sunny day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks for the dinner, dude.
Yeah. Thank you. Live a long time. Thank you, Xylate. It says, oh God, I'm pressing buttons. I'd like to see you guys do a slow grow narrative style crusade with games of Spearhead thrown in and some hobby streams as you add new units.
I'm into that.
I would be into it if I knew that you would actually get it done.
I need to find a faction that I could get done.
Yeah. I think we need to find you a faction that can be done primarily through heavy use of contrast and oil washes.
So let me have a go at Crawl Boys, because they might be the faction.
I think Crawl Boys is a great army for being incredibly lazy with. Yeah. I think you need to go into your kind of, you know when artists are like, oh, I've gone into my Van Gogh phase, you know. Yeah. So this is you going into your John Blanche phase, you know. I feel like a campaign. This will make you very happy, I reckon. Yeah.
I feel like a campaign between Cities of Sigmar and Crawl Boys, which it's almost Tolkien-esque at that point. It was super cool.
Yeah, you could match my bases. I'd made sure that they were done super easy. I've got swampy bases for your.
I like swampy bases. Yeah. Maybe.
The basing on my Cities of Sigmar is literally the wet mud stuff. Which you could buy from AK, Vallejo, whatever, and then literally getting the tufts and just squidging them in.
Yeah.
Right? And then letting that dry, covering it in wet PVA glue, and then sprinkling leaves on it. Done.
Bone Reapers, I don't hate the model range, but I don't absolutely adore the model range. I think it's cool, but not my favourite.
There's models in the Boner Men that I like, but it's the bum chins I can't deal with.
And then Sylvaneth, someone else has said, I adore Sylvaneth. But Chris Galloway, who's an absolute fucking legend of the channel, lent us a full Sylvaneth army. So I stopped my Sylvaneth because I was like, we have one we can use.
What we need,
and I built other stuff.
What we need to do is get Chris all the stuff that you've built and not painted, get him to match it.
I mean, yeah.
That's what we need.
Have you tried the AK Streak and Grind Weathering product? It's great stuff. It's really, really good stuff.
Yeah, I'm using the A&K wet mud, but it doesn't dry looking very
So
wet.
I feel like with Crawl Boys, I feel like I could paint the base colours of almost all of it, stick a big wash over it, and it would almost look like it's good. And I feel like that's where I'd be able to lean into it a little bit as a quick army to paint, because there's less detail that I need to worry about.
Yeah,
but we'll see.
Because the dragon says Nighthaunt. That's just all airbrush all the time.
I love Nighthaunt. But I can't. But so I love Nighthaunt. They're one of my favourite ranges. I think they're cool as shit. But if we're going to do a cool narrative campaign, someone the super chat said they wanted a narrative campaign. I have to believe in the narrative.
Yeah.
And I feel like I at the moment in my mind at least, a Crawl Boys Cities of Sigmar narrative, because I'm such a Lord of the Rings fan, just is what my head tells me. So I have to lean into that a little bit as well.
Not like, oh, there's a bunch of dead people over there. They're angry. Narrative.
Yeah.
You know, it's like my Tyranids narrative.
I've also been looking at the Crawl Boys rules as well.
Yeah.
I'm a fan. Can't say anymore. Carry on.
Thank you, Sir Galahad. Says, is AOS and 40k going to become the streamlined with basic you hit, I hit rules, giving in-depth gaming with nuances and greater variances in hitting, wound, etc. to Horus Heresy and Old World?
I think yes.
Yes,
I think yes. I think if you want in-depth armor facings and turret turning and all that kind of stuff, you play Horus Heresy. And if you want a more beer and pretzels version, you play 40k. I think if you want wheeling round giant rank and file spearmen and pikemen with swords and charging cavalry, you play Old World. And if you want to just put a beer and pretzels version of fantasy, you play Sigmar.
I think Sigmar does have a lot of nuances in it. Right. I think you can play AOS to have fun and just shove stuff around. But I think at the bleeding edge of AOS, I think managing command points and managing your stratagems is going to take you from a good player to a great player.
What if, as part of the campaign stuff as well, I'm sorry,
Yeah.
you're still answering Galahad's question, which you should do, and you should carry that on. What if we get some of that brown, like, paper, the brown roll of paper that you get, the stuff I'm talking about, it's like parcel paper almost, so that we can tape it with masking tape on the table. We get a couple of bar stools from Amazon, and then, for example, next week's Liam and Joe show on Tuesday, I can sit building Crawl Boys on the Liam and Joe show.
Yeah.
What do we reckon?
We can do that.
A Liam and Joe hobby stream together.
Yeah. Yeah, we can do that.
Anyway, sorry, carry on. Galahad.
I will bring one of
This
my...
is how my brain works.
I'll bring one of my spearheads and build that at the same time.
Yeah, well, I mean, for now, because your city's spearhead's done, so once I'm just building the spearhead, you can build something else. When we move into the campaign and we add units, we could do Liam and Joe show...
You can buy me loads of new... I do need new cities in my units.
We could do Liam and Joe show where we do the hobbying aspect that he was talking about. We could do Liam and Joe show where we do the spearhead aspect that he was talking about. And then Tuesday nights could be the big game aspect that and Tuesdays could be campaign day for AOS.
Yeah.
This is an idea.
Yeah.
Because I really struggle with the concept of pre-recorded because I fucking hate it.
I think it works for short format, pre-recorded. Like, I think we could do short form.
Sam's got your number. Is there a grenade strat in AOS, Joe?
No. No. Do you know what? It's really weird, right? I'm getting really into my Tyranids again. Like I ran them on Sunday at this tournament.
No tank shock, no grenades.
There's no grenades, no tank shock.
Yeah.
Do you know what I do?
It's almost like it's a more fun version, Joe, isn't it?
Well, I just do every turn. 1 CP, 5 if you want to ping.
At least it's an actual faction strategy.
Yeah, I've got other stratagems in that army, not that I know what they do.
I feel like that's a really good idea. I feel like doing hobby content and spearhead content on Tuesdays is part of the Liam Joe show because we often run out of things to talk about, and then we do the get. I think that could work. That could work. This is just me thinking outside. Like I come up with concepts and ideas and I think out loud. So it might not happen. I just like to think out loud, and then Joe looks at me in absolute disdain as he realises he's got another idea. Here we go.
I wouldn't lie to you, right? I won't lie to you. It's also a very good way. It's also a very good way of showing off new. What?
The name of the person who's gifted Joe.
Oh, what a laugh! Hawk 2 had been on that thing. Chapter Master Hawk 2. Thank you.
Thank you
is
for
that
the
20?
gifted, yeah.
20, thank you.
It's not 50 like
Do you know what
Dark Lord
makes me
Lucinda.
really sad about Hawk 2 gal?
Why?
She's been fired from her job.
Why?
She's a teacher. And the report says is that basically the kids have found out about it and all the kids at school just say, they're just going Hawk 2 spit on that thing about everything. Right. So it's like ruined her life apparently. It's amazing how...
I feel like nowadays, though, if she wanted to make money, she probably could, Joe.
It's amazing how a 5-second video can literally just destroy everything.
Yeah.
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 But I'm pretty sure she'll be set for life now anyway.
John, thank you so much for the 20 gifted, man.
What's going on here with the screen?
Don't worry about that. They can't see that.
Thank you, John. You're a hero.
What a great name, by the way.
Yeah. You should.
Oh, dear. We're up to like 83 gifted now, chat. We might make another 100 on the Liam and Joe show.
That'd be amazing, wouldn't it?
It would be, yeah.
Sam Deaker says, Joe, I just bought a Norn emissary or assimilator. Emissary, because the assimilator is terrible.
Correct.
It's just awful.
Yeah.
It's like everything that the emissary does, but worse. Also, I'm not keen on the model.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, the assimilator model.
The assimilator model.
Yeah, okay.
The emissary is a beautiful model. I was talking about this the other day, actually. What I found weird, right, is when they were showing off the emissary, when they were releasing it, they never put it next to other models. Mm-hmm. So we all thought it was fucking massive.
Like a night-sized Tyranid.
I was wetter than an otter's pocket, you know? I was like a night-sized Tyranid, finally. Like something to like have
a real centerpiece.
Yeah, a real centerpiece army. And I'm not saying that he isn't a centerpiece model now, but he's just a lot smaller than I was expecting.
I expected him to be about 1.5 times the size that he is.
Yeah. Also, his arms aren't big enough.
They're kind of weird, yeah.
They're like too small for his body. He's like, oh, take my strong hand.
Back to Mr. the Galahad's super chat, though. By the way,
Yeah.
I think honestly, I think GW are doing this on purpose. I do think that 40k and AoS is the main. So here's words that I don't want people to take offence to this, but here's how I think it works. 40k AoS is the target is the mainstream audience, right? Because it's less complicated, there's less nuance, there's less detail, and then Old World and Heresy becomes the advanced war game for the actual wargamer, right? And I'm not saying that a person who plays 40k and not a Heresy isn't an actual wargamer. Don't blow it out of proportions, chat. I'm just saying, one is aimed at the mainstream audience, the beer and pretzels game. One is aimed at the more advanced wargamer. I think that's what they're doing.
Yeah.
I actually don't blame them for targeting the products at different markets. The advanced wargamer can still play 40k and AoS, and the casual beer and pretzels can every now and again play a fantasy or not stuff like the Old World or Heresy. But I think they've purposefully made them different games.
I actually think that Spearhead might replace Underworld as well.
It might do, yeah.
I reckon Games Workshop might slowly shuffle that off. Talking about slowly shuffling stuff off, they didn't announce it, but I discovered this yesterday while I sat on the toilet whilst going through
Of course, yeah. When you spend most of your time.
They have put the Hyrule, barbed and scythed, secretly, silently, into Legends.
I thought we knew that.
No. I was like, I'm going to write a list and put that in it, see how that fits. No.
One is for the Amazon Prime market, exactly, Galahad. 100%.
Yeah.
That's exactly
It's
what
kind of like
doing.
it's the same way as how Wizards of the Coast owns D&D and Magic the Gathering.
Yeah.
One makes them a lot more money than the other, but, you know, one's getting more popular.
I think, 100% think that's what's going on, mate, if I'm honest with you.
Yeah. So now,
Kai, you can fuck off.
Now, if anyone's feeling very generous, if they could slowly donate a Hierophant to me, that would be brilliant.
Yeah.
Because I still want a 40.
He says, well, it's all simplified, isn't it? Less rerolls, less auras in 40k makes perfect sense.
Fuck all re-rolls in Age of Sigmar.
Hey, Howard, how's it going? No way Spearhead will replace Underworlds. Underworlds has a lot more depth and you can play it faster. So do you reckon Underworld, Stepping Stone, Spearhead, Stepping Stone, Big AoS then maybe? Not sure.
I think it'll be Spearhead, AoS, Old World, and then like and then Underworld is just kind of off to the side as its own thing.
Mr. Hawktar says they moved all the Necron stuff to Legends 2.
Yeah. I've noticed that since the Guard update, I was looking around a couple of event stuff. Guard did quite well this weekend running the new data slate stuff. A lot of Forge World units in there. If I was a gambling man, I wouldn't pay any money for Forge World stuff for Guard.
Not right now, I wouldn't know.
Not right now.
Exclamation mark gift anyway, chat. We've got 17 to go, so Liam and Joe Show can hit the target. Whee! Just to prove everyone that Joe's your favourite.
A lot of people are saying Warcry. I reckon that's going to be slowly shuffled off as well, because they changed the rules, didn't they?
I don't know. If they're still selling it,
a massive fan of Warcry.
If they're still selling it, they won't get rid of it.
Yeah. You say that, they still sell Forge World stuff.
Yeah.
What about when they moved all that heresy stuff from 40k?
Don't, Joe.
Thank you, Sir Galahad Grinder, for the one gifted membership. Thank you, Sam Deacon. Throat Punch welcomed. It's coming home.
It's not.
You talking about football?
Yeah.
Could not give less of a shit.
I don't fucking... When it comes to international football, the English team, the English management team, the English fans are a fucking national embarrassment. So I have no interest in it whatsoever.
I'm going to upset a lot of people now. Right. My opinion to football has got lower the more engaged I got and then lost a lot of love for competitive 40k. Do you remember who won the Premier League 10 years ago?
Probably Man City, this, right?
Do you remember who won it 3 years ago?
Probably Man City.
So it's but do you remember who won, what all the games were played, who won the individual tournaments and stuff?
No.
No. It literally means nothing. Like, because if you win it next year, it just starts again. Just play for fun. None of these prizes, none of that money.
I mean, you can't... It's not how it works in football because of the money, Joe.
I know, because of the money. But it's just a money-making machine.
Which, by the way, is fucking disgusting what they get paid
yeah.
for kicking a bag of air around.
Yeah.
So I am a football fan, right?
Yeah.
I literally have a season ticket for Saints next season.
Yeah.
And when I was a kid, I had a season ticket for Saints for about 10 years through my teenage years. Watched Saints get relegated from the Premiership, relegated from the Championship, play in League One, and watched them get promoted to Championship, promoted back to the Premiership. Last season, watched them win the Championship. The season before, watched them get relegated. I followed Saints. I've been to fucking Hartlepool away on a Tuesday night. That's a fucking drive to go and watch them draw 0-0. I'm a big football fan. I cannot stand international football for England specifically. And there's a couple of reasons. The team is an absolute fucking embarrassment. The talent on the pitch and the money they get paid, and they can't fucking come together and play a game. And players are often going, I don't know if I want to play for my country. It should be a fucking honour to play for your country to start with.
That's mental,
The management
isn't it?
team is absolutely fucking clueless. And the fans, I don't know if you've seen any of the content coming out of the fans' behaviour in Germany, but I don't want to be associated with it ever. It's absolutely fucking disgusting.
It is.
And they should be ashamed of themselves.
It is mental if people say, I don't know if I want to play for my country.
Because
when you were kids, right, I remember being at school and being taken, like, they cancel lessons. So we could all go, as a school, sit in the hall and watch, like, the World Cup, watch the Euros, whatever. Like, everyone's like, get together, support the country, right? I remember people were clamouring to play for the team. And nowadays, it's like, you've done something I don't agree with, I no longer support you, I'm not going to play for that team, nothing. Right?
yeah.
It's just mental.
It's just disgusting. Like I said, their behaviour there is disgusting. And do you know what? The media doesn't help either, right? We're watching Scotland versus someone, and fair play, the Scots didn't do themselves any real favours this tournament. They've already been knocked out, and the last game they didn't play very well at all. And then all the fucking media do is talk about England, and then all the media also do is they just slag England off. But the whole thing's a circus, and I hate it. And it's literally, football is unfortunately, and I still follow my club and I have a season ticket, but unfortunately football has just been absolutely monumentally infested with money-hungry cunts. And that's what's happened with it. But it has. Yeah, absolutely has. We went to the Premiership rugby final, not this last weekend, but the weekend before, to watch my team, Bath, lose to Northampton in the Premiership rugby final. The 2 weeks before, a week before, I was at Wembley watching Saints in football play against Leeds. Two very different experiences. I know which one I'd like to do again. And it's the rugby one.
Yeah.
And you go into Twickenham at 11:30 when they open the gates at Twickenham because they can trust rugby fans to drink all day and not be fucking idiots. They can't do that with football. And you go in at 11:30 and they open up the fucking fan area and there's tons of drinking places and there is Bath fans drinking with Saints fans, Northampton Saints fans, and there's people wearing Leicester shirts and Newcastle shirts. Like all the fans, you can take your beer into the bowl because you can be trusted to be a grown-up as a rugby fan. You're not allowed to take beer into the bowl for football. You can't take it into your seat for football. You're not allowed to.
Really?
Yeah, because football fans are fucking Larry dickheads who all think they're rock hard. And they separate the away fans and the home fans because they might fight each other. It's basically handbags at dawn half the time. But it's fucking embarrassing the way football fans behave. Yeah. Rugby fans and the rugby in general was so, and I went into the museum actually. Twickenham has the World Rugby Museum in it, which is for £12.50 for an adult to go in. If you ever get the chance, it's well worth it. Yeah. There's a whole thing about recently, it's like 20 years ago, not professionalising it. People shouldn't want to be paid to play rugby. They should play rugby for the passion. It's like 25 years ago. It's like recent.
Yeah,
unbelievable.
It used to be an officer's sport, didn't it?
Well, they always.
I think like it's mental. Like I hear stories about people that go to see football games. They take their kids and they go like, "I've got to leave literally 5 minutes before the game ends because we have to sprint to our car because of the fighting."
It's mad.
Like, it's too dangerous to be around a football stadium when the game ends. You have to run in fear away from the building.
Yeah.
Madness.
So I'm sorry. That's why I said to anyone in the OnlyFans, if they keep saying it's coming out, that's the other thing that pisses me off. Every major tournament England go to, within seconds, some cunt's going, "It's coming home." Oh, fuck off. Hasn't been home for years.
When was that song written? Like 1994 or something?
Was it Euro 96? It might be. I can't remember. It was either Euro 96 or World Cup 98. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But yes, the mid 90s.
It didn't come home when they made the song.
No, it hasn't since.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, and everyone forgets that England won the fucking Rugby World Cup in 2003.
Yeah. And we won the Ashes.
Well, I don't really.
We're really good at every sport other than football.
So I said in the veins, anyone who says it's coming home is going to get a throat punch.
Although I do find that the Tim Henman career in tennis is a great way of dealing with disappointment.
Yeah.
That was, as a child, Tim Henman was my teaching of becoming an adult, to be just like how to deal with just expecting.
96. It was Euro 96. Yeah. There you
go. Thank you, Brian Garrett. Let's see some fantasy toy soldiers. Spearhead.
Spearhead.
Yes. It's happening. What's the spearhead for the Gargants? Are we allowed to say?
It's one, isn't it? One man crusher, I think.
Is it?
I think it's just one man. Thankfully, Joe, I have this incredible book with all the spearheads because I don't think we can show the other bits we've got yet.
96. Because 30 years of hurt.
Yeah, because it was 1966 was the last time England won any kind of major trophy because they're fucking dog shit.
Yeah. So basically,
do you know what, right? I'm not an unpatriotic person.
Yeah.
I fucking did 10 years in the army, for Christ's sake.
So what we're saying is
I'm literally covered in First and Second World War tattoos and poppies, and I made sure that every single piece of artwork on my arm was a reference to something from British military history. Yeah. I'm not an unpatriotic person, but English football players and the coaching staff and the fans should really take a long, hard look at themselves, their behaviour and their performance, and be like, we should do better for the country rather than just because money. Anyway, Sons of Behemat, the Will Smasher Stomp, has a single man crusher Gargant, which is a little fella. It's one of these, isn't it?
Yeah.
A single man crusher Gargant, which, by the way, I love this spearhead, Joe. A single man crusher Gargant that has the reinforcement rule, right?
Yeah.
So once you kill it, it comes back, which is already great, but also, I believe it comes back twice, not once.
And it's got its own battle tactics, traits, and everything. So you can customize it every game that you play.
Yeah. Declare, pick an enemy to come up with. I'm sure there's somewhere I saw that this thing comes back twice.
So I was saying that 100 box for 3 Gargant, 100 quid for for a box of 3 is mad good money, that is.
The general has the hero keyword in addition to the monster keyword and does not have the reinforcements keyword or icon. What? Hey? Units, 1 Man Crusher Gargant, 1 Man Crusher Gargant. So it's actually 2 Man Crusher Gargants.
It's 2 Man Crusher Gargants?
Yeah, and one of them has the hero keyword in addition to the monster keyword, but does not have the reinforcements keyword.
Oh, so one can be reinforced
So
and
one,
can't.
you swap reinforcement with hero, basically.
Okay.
So you get essentially 3 Man Crusher Gargants. They've got to get through 36 wounds of Man Crusher Gargant.
Oh.
Cool.
Nice.
I'm into it.
Thank you. Bull Hayward says, you can only take off so much before people call the cops, but you can always put on more clothes. That's in reference to me being naked and sweaty in the streets.
You're right. You're right. I still prefer the hot weather. Though. You're not going to change my
Why
mind.
is it right? British etiquette. I find this really funny. Right, when you're at home, when you're in England, you wear just shorts. You see a lot of people, guys walking around with their tops off. I wouldn't because it's not a nice sight. Women tend to wear quite skimpy clothes. People are like, ugh, put some clothes on. You disgust me.
Yeah.
But when you're in Malaga, it's perfectly acceptable to walk around in a thong and nipple tassels
I do.
and sandals, you know. And everyone's like, yeah, it's fine.
I do.
Go to Spain, Greece. You go to another country, it doesn't matter how much.
I
Well, there
think-
are some countries where they'll be like, put some clothes on. But if you're on holiday, you're like, I'm going to wear literally nothing but a sock to cover my genitals.
Yeah. I'm here for it.
It's weird, isn't it?
I dress like that.
Yeah.
Give me a few more months of the diet and the exercise. I dress like that. Not right now. Not right now.
Okay. Someone saying that you could buy one for 18 quid if you bought the magazine. Oh, the
Gargants.
the AoS magazine. Thank you, man. Since Joe is here, did you do the thing yet, Liam? ? Winky face.
No. He sent me the thing that I need to get you to read from the Lumineth Realm Lords. The narrative piece, and I keep forgetting to bring the Lumineth Realm Lords book over.
Oh, because they're just boring basic elves.
You're gonna get this book around the face.
Yeah.
Off camera, so there's no evidence. You are wrong. Carry on.
I like the big furry bowman. He's cool.
The wind claimer, or whatever
Yeah.
the name is. Yeah. Haruken. That one.
Thank you, Sam Deacon. Lawrence referenced TTT doing one every 3 weeks on YouTube's.
Yeah, but is this actually doing one every 3 weeks, or is this like last time when they got you to pay 100 grand for all their armies, did a few bits, and then just cancelled it completely?
It was like 20 grand an army, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's like 10,000 or 10,000 per AoS faction. Thanks for funding all of our AoS stuff. We've done a few months of content. Don't like it. Stopping.
Yeah, but now they can use it again.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
Yeah. Cody asked when we're doing a hot tub stream. And we'll sell the water afterwards in jars.
A Liam Joe hot tub stream.
Yeah.
We can do that.
Is Stormbringer still going, the magazine?
We could get a hot tub in that back corner there.
We could.
I did think about putting a multi-gym in there.
Oh, that would be cool. You can carry it up.
Then I looked at the price of them.
Yeah.
And no, I'd get it delivered to this floor. I'm not
Yeah.
stupid. Like
Yeah.
when they bought, I think, what was it they bought out the fridge? When they bought the fridge up to
Yeah.
this floor, they didn't like me very much.
They weren't happy.
I went and opened the door, I'm like, yeah, it's on the top floor, come on. There's a reason why I got it delivered to room. They're like, oh, there's 4 flights of stairs.
We could get a bench and some
I've got a
stuff.
bench.
Yeah.
I've got a bench, we'd have to buy another
Yeah.
dumbbell set. And
Yeah.
we could do that.
You only bought the one bar.
Just the one actually. It's 2 bars, but only enough because of what we lift. It's got 2 bars, but only enough weights to do one at that weight.
You bought like the Foxy Boxing version, didn't you? Thank you. Anakman again says, if you want to know what I'd like to see from AoS, I'd love Tuesday to be dedicated to AoS Day. Maybe some fun narrative campaign stuff. Eventually, ?
I'm into
That
that.
would be great. I've got 5%
I'm-
battery left.
I'm very much in. It's all right. We've got phones. We'll be fine.
Thank you. Yeah, I think that's what I'd like to go down that route. That'd be cool.
AoS Tuesdays.
Yeah.
I'd very much like to do AoS Tuesdays, but I'm fearful as to what people will, how angry. I will go as far as to say there is an exception. The exception will be on new codex releases.
Yeah.
Because on a new codex release, when a new 40k codex comes out, I think it would make sense for us to do that for both streams the first week.
Yeah.
But We'd have to see how well.
We've noticed
but if the AoS content is performing through the season, then the new 40k codex can wait till Thursday.
We do tend to notice that the first week of previews does really well, and then it tends to drop off the second week.
Yeah, not loads, but it does drop off a bit.
It does drop off a bit. Thank you. What if there's a new battle tome?
Well, then we could do it in reverse.
Yeah.
Potentially.
So do Tuesday, Thursday.
But we're not at the moment in a position where if there's a new battle time, we've probably got multiple versions of the same fucking army. So we're not there yet. But maybe in the future, yeah.
We need to know well in advance.
Yeah.
I need to get more Skaven painted as well. We need another second box
I love Cities of Sigmar, honestly.
Absolutely, second box set and the big rat boys. Rat boys. Thank you, Evan Tominello, for the 1 gifted membership. And then obviously the Lord of Cinder and his massive chode.
He got flopped his dick out. We stuck on 83 though, Joe. I don't think we're going to hit the target.
No.
On another Liam and Joe show. We've only got 10 minutes to go.
Yeah. And then after Master Hook to. I love that you've got. I just realised what the icon is. His icon is for his little thumbnail thing. It's the front. It's the cover of Josh Hartnett from Black Hawk Down, and then got her.
Is it amazing? I mean,
her head on it. Oh, lad, absolute lad. Thank you, Alec Man. He has said, if you're doing a Cities versus Cruel Boys narrative campaign, are you doing a Dawnbringer crusade? If so, I'd love it, even if it's a third ed story bit. If you need full lore details, don't hesitate to ask me.
I may do. I don't really know what Dawnbringer campaigns are, but we can learn.
They didn't get a Dawnbringer for Cruel Boys, did they?
I don't know. I
don't know
know,
if they
Jay.
did.
I don't know. I no point asking me.
We're probably better off just doing new lore, aren't we, really?
Maybe.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I've not even read the books.
Okay.
I think we got some books.
We got the Dawnbringer book sent through to us,
Yeah,
They didn't
yeah.
send us any physical model products until 4th edition.
Yeah, I really want the new Dawnbringer book for Chaos because I haven't got like a centerpiece model.
It's back on the cards, Joe! Marcanius has gifted 5 memberships. It's back on the cards. We're now 13 away.
Thank you, Marcanius Aurelius.
Maximus Decimus.
Yeah. Thank you, Alec Man, again. He's been busy today. Says, Underworld isn't going anywhere. It's literally a board game, and there are too many people love the sculpts for it to die. I suspect Warcry, Spearhead, AoS. But this is a board game too.
It is essentially, yeah.
It comes with its own board.
It does.
And terrain and model. It's a self-contained game in one box with expansions.
Yeah.
It's basically the same thing, but bigger.
But bigger, yeah.
Yeah.
And bigger is always better.
One thing I do like about Underworlds and what we got in the second, what was it, the one with the ghosts and was 2nd edition, wasn't it? 2nd edition, yeah. 2nd edition gave us the Ghost Boys, right? The start, and all the push fit stuff came along, didn't it, as well? One thing they did really, really well then, which they kept in Spearhead and abandoned for everything else, was the pre-molded bases.
Yeah.
So during that one, you had all the Sigmarite stuff and all of the Nighthaunt stuff. All the push fit stuff came on really nice kind of graveyard-esque bases, and then nothing for the rest of the army.
Yeah.
And they didn't even sell. Like I was like, Games Workshop had a line of pre-molded bases, and they currently still sell them. They're a bit shit.
The hero bases.
They had the hero bases, and then they had like the Cities of Death and the Necromunda ones. I remember there was a lot of complaints when the Cities of Death ones came out because the pictures were really, really nice and crisp, and when you got them, they were really like soft-edged.
I think the thing is with custom bases as well. So Brom has used them on the Custodies for the channel.
Yeah.
He's used like they're almost like Necromunda-y. I can't remember.
He's used the Cities of Death ones, which match the plastic gaming board.
They're cool, but the problem I start to have is I buy loads of custom bases specifically from Unreal Wargaming Studios because they're fucking incredible. And then after I've used them on about 20 models, I'm like, it just repeats now and I'm bored.
Well, that's what I've used the March of War ones on my Soulblight. Yeah. So to top it, what I do with a lot of them is I cut bits off or cover bits in sand, so you don't end up with lots of stuff.
It makes it look different.
A little bit different, and I've used leaves, like bigger leaves for coverage as well. So it's the same but different.
Same but different.
Yeah, but the only difference is that the problem is that every time I buy a new unit for my Soulblight, it's going to cost me at least £10 to £20 more.
Because bases.
Because bases.
Yeah.
That's why I really like to see the Sigmar choice that I've gone for, because all I have to do is buy his leaves and mud.
Yeah, and the bases look really fucking cool.
Yeah, I managed. I think it's like Hornby sell the long horsehair stuff that I've used to make all the reeds.
Yeah, that looks.
Which looks
cool.
really cool. It adds a bit of height and a bit of difference to the model.
I'm into it. I'm into it.
And then
Somber Horseman.
Somber Horseman is a fucking beautiful model.
He is an incredible model.
I worked really hard on him.
Yeah, it'll look great when it's finished.
I think you should only be able to say that sentence if you actually painted models.
I have painted models.
How many models have you painted in the last 2 years?
Well, that's a different question.
Yeah.
Probably like 10.
You painted 5 really nice Krieg, plastic Krieg.
I did do very well, those, yeah.
You did really good. And you kept those, and you painted that one Warlock, and then you threw him in the bin.
Yeah, and then I painted the 10 Scorpions.
Painted is a loose term. But they were, you technically, by the
I painted a single Hormigón.
The correct use of the term, you did paint them. Yeah.
I painted a single Hormigón. I was really proud of him. He looked really nice.
Yeah.
He was really good.
Yeah.
I painted 3 Necrons.
Yeah.
Yeah. I painted loads of stuff.
I work so hard and get no appreciation.
That's a flat fucking lie.
I don't get any appreciation at all.
Be honest, Joe.
I get some. Thank you, Resident Dumb Drinker. England football team is a great advertisement for why you should watch rugby instead.
Yeah, 100% agree. 100% agree. Fucking love rugby.
Yeah. I think I would, if I was going to watch sport, I would go and watch cricket. If I was going to go there and watch it.
Cricket's a very you sport, Joe.
Cricket's...
Don't do anything. Just stand there.
And it's, I feel like because obviously you don't there's always like food and drink associated with going and a specific kind of style, football you do drugs and start fights. That's what you do, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right. If you do rugby, you have to wear the sweaters, and you drink beer, warm beer in pubs. You know?
Okay, yeah.
Whereas cricket is kind of sit in the sun, right, under a large umbrella. You drink Pimm's, and you have lots of like cucumber sandwiches and like a little picnic. I think that's me.
Yep.
Yeah, I could do that. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, and it's quite chill. Like the field is much bigger, so there's a lot more of a breeze that kind of comes across it, especially in warm weather.
Yep.
You know.
I guess that being you, yeah, absolutely.
I used to play a lot of cricket actually.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. Yeah.
I'm down for that. Thank you, Franks. He says, I am a real football fan. Go Broncos.
You don't use your feet, it's not real football.
Yeah.
And you can't be like, kick off. It's not how it works. If the majority of your sport is done with your hands, it's not football, is it? Carry on.
Sam Runkel says that's tennis, Joe. That's what they do in football as well. Not football, in cricket.
I mean, it's more tennis than cricket.
Yeah.
Cricket is like lager louts who sit in the sun all day drinking fucking beer and cider.
Oh, cider, yeah.
Yeah, I haven't put him off.
I'm not. It's a lot of sitting around, and when you watch people at a cricket match, there's none of this like sat on plastic chairs, kind of like really uncomfortable, squished together. They're quite loungy, aren't they? They're like,
yeah, they've got loads of space because no one wants to watch cricket.
whereas you go to Wimbledon, they're all packed in there like sardines.
They've got no space. They've got loads of space because no one fucking goes and watches it because it's boring. That being said, I actually don't mind T20. T20 is okay. I quite like T20.
I think, I'm a big fan of cricket, and I understand the rules for that.
I like T20. I can cope with ODI. I fucking hate Test cricket.
Really?
Yeah.
Because it goes on for yards.
4 days. 4 to 5 days, Joe, yeah.
Yeah. And
Boring.
if it rains once, it goes on for a bit
And because
longer.
it goes on for so long, they're like, not going to hit that ball. Not going to hit that ball. Not going to hit that ball. Like, you're a batter. Fucking swing. Not going to hit that ball. Like, yeah.
I'm like, wang it! Just whee, off it goes.
T20, much better. T20 is good. There's, Dan Simpson said the World Cup's in the West Indies right now. England were in the semi-finals. England, cricket, semi-finals, T20 World Cup. Nothing really about that in the press at all. England football playing like shit. Loads of coverage.
Yeah.
Annoys me. Carry on.
Cricket is the one game that England is consistently good at all the time.
The Test side isn't. Carry on.
Thank you, Elec Man. He's on one today. Thank you. Warcry got a rules update with more free rules for new Seraphon kits. I highly doubt it's going anywhere either. If it does die, I'll riot. I feel like Elec Man's really passionate about Warcry and
Underworlds. I don't think either of them are going to go anywhere, but we'll see. Yeah. I don't know enough to really make a comment though. So I feel like you know more.
Well,
about
the reason why I kind of think that it might be slowly being pushed off the end of the table is that all the Underworlds teams and a lot of the Warcry stuff all disappeared out of. They said that they're not going to be in AoS. Well, they did that big post about you've got a year. Yeah, but they did also say that the Underworld stuff.
They did a better job of that at least when they handled how they handled that situation.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of that.
Yeah.
Thank you, SDJ. Says next stream shorter shorts and muscle vests.
I don't have any muscle vests.
I don't.
I also don't have any shorter shorts.
I think I've still got my I've ambitiously still owned my Under Armour t-shirts from like 5 years ago when I was Thin Joe.
As much as I'm going to the gym regularly, eating well, the belly fat's still there right now. We're not ready for Liam muscle vests or Joe muscle vests yet.
Yeah.
Not yet.
Yeah. They'd be like, why have they put a pumpkin in people clothes? Thank you. Yeah, there will be a time where we full Vanguard it,
No, I don't think we will.
No?
No. Too much charisma in the room.
I want a t-shirt that's barely holding on and some shorts that barely cover the tip of my penis, please.
If I ever do something like a flex roll, kick me square in the bollocks, hard, with still toe caps on.
What about if you went, somebody call a vet?
No.
These swans are sick.
No. No, Jay.
I want that.
No, that's not me.
No?
No.
Okay.
No. Anyway, chat, we are...
I've still got Marcanius and then Kazarian. Joe, I did Legion of Blood, Soulblight Gravelords at the weekend and ended with nothing but Nefertara, Vrzlod and Vengalord on the table for the win. Would recommend.
We've got 12 memberships to go, by the way, chat, before we hit the target.
Kaz, is that based on AOS 3 or AOS 4?
I bet it'd be 3, wouldn't it? If we can get the 12, I'll let you have some dinner.
Thanks, I guess.
Generous.
Yeah.
12 gifted, chat.
Yeah. Kaz, I'm not really playing AOS to be competitive. Because a lot of people have gone, you need to get this, you need to get this, you need to get this. And I've very much stated early on with AOS, I'm not really allowing rules to influence what happens in my army.
Which is it.
Apart from army composition, because I need units.
Yeah. So
I'm not allowing any of the rules to be like.
I absolutely agree with you, and I'm doing the same thing. But that being said, it feels a little bit to me like, in 3rd edition at least, you can still do that and go to an event, which is competitive, and have fun rather than just get curb stomped for 5 games.
Yeah.
So I feel like, actually, in 4th edition, I'm hoping, having seen the rules, the main rules, the rule book, the General's Handbook, I'm thinking that could be similar. I'm feeling like I could pick, so let's say Cruel Boys, because that's the box I ordered because John. I could pick up the Cruel Boys stuff. I could build a 2,000-point army of stuff that I think that's cool. I could go, and do you know what? Am I going to win the tournament? Probably not. Am I going to get curb stomped every single game? Probably not. Am I going to have fun? Probably. Yeah. And that's why I think AOS events are currently appealing to me in the future rather than 40k events. 40k events now, I feel like if I took a fun narrative World Eaters army, for example, and I went a little bit unprepared, I'm probably just going to get fucking spanked every game.
Yeah.
So I'm going to this Hellstorm event at the end of August, and I'm going to take either our Channel Knights army or our Channel World Eaters army, both of which aren't good enough to win anything. And I'm going to go there with, and this is where I think it's a little bit sad, I'm going to go with the mindset that I'm probably going to lose every game.
I think with 40k at the moment, unless you go specifically to win in the mindset of I want to do well, I want to win, you are just going to get
Yeah,
smashed.
so I'm going to the Hellstorm event with the mindset. So when I get to a point where I buy tickets to an event, I'm like, right, what am I going to take? How am I going to compete? How am I going to? I'm like, I get stressed about it half the time, more often actually than half the time. I end up pulling out and going, I'm not going to enjoy it. There's no point. I'm going with a mindset to this Hellstorm event. I'm probably going to lose all 5 games. And the second I lose, I can get to the bar and have a few beers and meet people and chat to people and hang out with you and hang out with Mikey. And so because I'm going with that mindset, I feel like I'm going to have more fun, genuinely. And so despite the fact that I'm going with, in my mind, I'm going to lose every single game, I feel like I'm prepping myself to have more fun. I think with AoS, that's slightly different, to be honest with you, overall. I feel like that's less of a concern. And so you have a slightly higher chance of winning even if you take the same kind of attitude. Yeah. Stephen Witham, thank you for 10 gifted memberships. You fucking legend. 2 to go.
It was Tony Winnick.
Tony Winnick, not Stephen Witham. It's normally, sorry, Tony. I feel like an arsehole now. Yeah. Hit me. Oh.
Yeah.
Tony Winnick, thank you for 10 gifted memberships.
Thank you.
You unbelievable human. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
2 away, chat. 2 away.
My idea for Hellstorm is take the units I like.
Yeah.
Like I want to get like. So I'm probably gonna take the Tyranids. I'm kind of flip-flopping between Tyranids and Flesh Tearers because I know Flesh Tearers would be a quick game. Right.
You know what to say about a quick game?
It's a fun game.
Quick game's a fun game.
Whereas Tyranids, I'm like, do I just take the fun stuff? So Lictors, Gene Stealers, Old One-Eyes of Carnifexes, Swarmlord, just take a bit of the fun stuff.
Tony, I feel really bad right now. Damn, Skippy! Thank you for 1 gifted.
Oh.
Tony, I feel really bad. I'll make sure he spanks me off camera.
Yeah. It's like in Monty Python, the Holy Grail. And afterwards, a spanking.
Anywho, chat. Oh my God, Carlos did it. We did the 100, Joe. You can have some food. You're allowed to
Thank you, Carlos.
Thank you so much, you wonderful people. I actually think this was useful. I think I came into this going, I wanted to mainly do Spearhead to start with. I feel like chat wants to see Spearhead. I actually now like the concept of doing Spearhead and hobby streams for Liam and Joe AoS shows on Tuesdays. I think that could be really fun, and I'm now going to have to work out how we do that setup. I think I like that idea quite a lot. I do very much, chat, like the concept of turning Tuesdays into full AoS days and Thursdays into full 40k days. We'll have to see how you guys respond to that. I think that's a good idea. I like that idea. I'm a big fan of that idea. We'll see what happens going forward. We're not going to be doing that anytime soon because we don't have AoS armies ready to do 2,000 points and keep it varied in the coming weeks and months. Yeah. Equally, we don't have enough people that know how to play AoS right now. It's Joe and I.
Yeah.
And our knowledge is woolly right now. So we're going to use the Spearheads and the hobby streams to learn it. And we'll continue with 40k on Tuesday evenings for now. And then we'll start bringing big style AoS in there. I want to ease into it gently. What I don't want to do is chuck out a giant AoS 2,000 point battle. We both don't know what we're doing. It's a bit poor. It's a bit flat. There's no charisma. And then it ends up being like every other person who's currently making AoS 4th edition content. So I want to take our time, get to know the rules, learn the armies, and provide you good, entertaining, and informative content that we also don't try and charge you for as a separate course. Anyway, that's the plans going forward. You lot have been super helpful. Thank you so much, Meat Squadron, Power Pilgrim, and one other person. That's it, those 2, for 2 more gifted. 102 gifted memberships on a Liam and Joe show is fucking insane. You lot, as always,
Carlos Lamas
are always literally the best audience on the internet, the best chat, the best audience, the best community. We can't thank you enough. You're amazing. We have a live game of 40k tonight at 7:30. It's Brom and Joe. Is it Admech?
I think I'm going to bring Admech.
It's Admech versus Orcs.
It's going to be...
Let's see if they've done some work to fix the Admech.
Yeah.
7:30. I am producing with a glamorous assistant, Luce, who claims she always brings the numbers. Just saying. She's going to struggle tonight because England are on the telly playing football.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
And Brom's playing.
Yeah. Anyway, thank you. She was like, are we bringing the dog? I was like, no. She was like, we should be left on our own for like 5-6 hours. I was like, that's fine. She was left on her own for 7 hours on Friday. I was like, if we finish at 10:30, it'll be like 5.5 hours. If we finish at 11, it'll be 6 hours. And she's like,
how long do you sleep for at night?
She was like, will it though? And I was like, I mean, Brom's playing. Anyway, thank you so much, you wonderful people, for watching. You're amazing. Get Warhammer wrong for beginning games would be a laugh. Well, Mike, maybe you just have to wait a week and 5 days for that. Possibly. Maybe. Who knows? Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one.
Bye, have a wonderful time.
You can't talk yet because it's. Oh, it isn't muted. We're good. Okay. You Crumpets Spider, thank you for the 5 gifted memberships.